Charles Taylor,
Hmm.
famous Canadian philosopher,
Yeah.
and his book, A Secular Age, has been instrumental, not as an articulation of conservative claims of cultural oppression, uh, but as a framework through which to understand them, because he is writing from a nonpartisan, non ideological perspective to argue that this sort of left liberal way of understanding modernity and enlightenment and progress as fundamentally the subtraction of these old limitations and prejudices and mores is fundamentally mistaken, because if you want to understand the drives of modernity, you have to understand how they originated out of certain religious impulses and other social impulses that later adopted a secular sheen and lost their religious rationalizations, but are ultimately spiritual in some meaningful sense. And once you see that, you can understand conservatives as resisting that whole tendency. And conservatives have an intuitive, whether they can articulate it theoretically or there's something wrong with this liberal enlightenment paradigm. And that's a visceral sense where they can't articulate well, and before which liberals are necessarily incredulous, because they have this enlightenment view. But what I try to do is to get people to take conservative claims of cultural oppression seriously. Jonah Goldberg, Victor Nils Hansen, and all these other conservative claimants of cultural oppression, you have this impulse just to dismiss them. But what happens when I start taking what they say, things which you would dismiss as ridiculous, but I explain their significance within this theory that derives from Charles Taylor and A Secular Age. At that time, you will see that these things which you are prone to dismiss have a deeper layer. I'm not going to persuade liberal academics, but if I show that even these figures of which are normally contemptible harbor a deeper layer of meaning, which is articulated through this theory, that carries value.